Good afternoon, everybody. It's Stephen and Paul from WinExtra bringing you your daily brief for November 23rd. And
show number 49.
Yes.
And we're kicking it out with some rather interesting sort of developments on the Microsoft front today. No sort of real news from Microsoft itself, except a little bit of controversy. But we do have some interesting things to bring you. First and foremost, for those Windows Phone 7 users out there, we have an add-on, an extension for Chrome that is called Chrome to WP7. I'm sure, like us, you've been going around with your cell phone or whatnot, and you've thought, damn, if only I had that link on my phone, where am I going to get it from? Well, if you've got Chrome to Windows Phone 7, this solves that problem. What it does is, when you're on a link, much like bookmarking anything, you hit the button and it sends it as a push notification to your phone, which when then you go into Toast, you get a list of all the links and, descriptions and whatnot that you have sent to your phone, so you can open them up there on your phone's browser while you're on the move. Kind of handy, for example, if you're going to take a long journey and you have a lot of long, articles from WinExtra that you want to read, and you can catch up on them while you're sitting in the back of the car, right? Been driven around somewhere or something.
Actually, I like that.
I think
one.
It's kind of handy. It's kind of cool.
I know. If and when I get a Windows Phone 7, I think this will be one that I definitely.
You mean when?
Yeah, when.
When exactly?
When. Yes.
Yeah. Now, the Courier lives, baby.
Yes, it does.
Okay, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Oh, come on,
But
it does.
Acer have come out and displayed their new Iconia dual-screen laptop/tablet, which is going to come out, I believe it's early next year. This thing is keyboardless. It's got two touch screens, and depending on what you're doing, one of the screens functions as a keyboard when you put both your hands on it. Engadget got to play with it. It's got a few minor problems at the moment, like the keyboard isn't quite intuitive yet, but this thing isn't coming out till next year. They've got plenty of time to tweak it and to fix it. This thing looks lovely. It's got two 14-inch displays. It's got HDMI ports, 3G connectivity, Dolby speakers. The list goes on and on. And of course, it's running Windows 7.
I guess this kind of explains why Microsoft went after the Courier patent after all.
Did they get that patent?
Yeah, they did. They've applied for it, I believe. I'm not sure if they've gotten it yet, but they did apply for it.
So here's the interesting thing. If Acer comes out with this knowing that Microsoft has applied for a patent for a dual touchscreen device and Microsoft gets it, well, really all it means is Microsoft will either do nothing with the patent, or if anybody starts, pulling an apple and dicking around, then they can, wheel that out, slap them around the head with it. Yeah. But, no, I mean, this thing looks really nice. As Engadget has said, right now the keyboard is a bit difficult to use. You and I discussed this pre-show, and, looking at the screenshots, I would suggest it's probably because the screen on the 14-inch, the keyboard on the 14-inch screen is just that inch too high. If it was another inch further down. But, I expect Acer to solve these problems by maybe letting you decide where the keyboard is going to be to fit your hands, which is having a problem right now. But they have a couple of months to get this thing sorted out.
They're saying February 2011 is when we can expect it on the market.
Well, February 2011, okay, so that gives them, 2 months at least 2 months to solve software issues. So
now there's no price on this yet, but I tell you, depending on what the price point is, I would be awful tempted to pick one up. I like it.
So would I. This is just for the coolness of it, just for how it looks. I'd be tempted to pick this up beyond practicality. Now, of course, if you're going to pick that up, you're going to need to save some money over Christmas and over Black Friday on the stuff that you buy. And like anybody else, Xbox is there, and Xbox have already started their Black Friday deals according to... Look, Hudson, just because you don't have an Xbox doesn't mean the rest of the Microsoft people that watch this show don't. I'm sorry that you're still in the past and are too, lazy to get one. That you can't figure out video games at your age.
if someone would be kind enough to send me one, I would probably play with it, no problem. But I can't afford it. It's just like $400 for a toy. No, not right now. I got too many other things.
It's not a toy. It's an entire home. It's an entire home media center, something which you would understand. I think it's highly hypocritical. You get on the show and you talk about these things, and you don't even have one. Right. Hey, anyway, lots
get on
and
with
lots
your specials
of Xbox Live specials. Windows Live specials, if you're going to go in and buy them. There's a good couple of games on offer. Most of these things are being discounted at the between 40 to 50% range. My recommendation for you is to get Monkey Island Special Edition, which normally will set you back 800 Microsoft points, but between now and the 29th, it's only going to cost you 400 Microsoft points. Go out, get it. It is a classic, and it's been completely updated for HD using, new live music and the original actors and the whole lot. So get it. It is a classic. But there's lots of other great ones in there too, like Serious Sam, Zombie Apocalypse. The list goes on and on. You'll find them all on Major Nigel's blog through the link in the show notes. Now
this one came up yesterday. Yes, the controversy part. I know you're a Call of Duty fan, so obviously this is probably more of interest to you. But apparently Microsoft is threatening to ban anyone using the swastika as their gamer tag or image or...
It's as your gamer image. You see, if you had an Xbox, you'd understand this, but you don't, okay? Now, Call of Duty players, when you're playing Call of Duty, you have the ability to create, you spend COD points and you have the ability to create essentially your clan image or your gamer image and have it on your gun and have it next to your tag on the, that screen before, the lobby, that screen before game. But because the way it works in Black Ops, you can actually customize your tag, and you can use lots of little symbols, and you can basically draw your own tag. Yeah. And people have been making swastikas. Now, this really is a freedom of speech issue, and it depends on where you come down on it. Whether or not the use of a swastika is appropriate. A lot of people are saying that, the swastika existed prior to, the World War II implementation of it through Hitler, etc. But, Xbox are sort of... actually, instead of me going on, I'm just going to come out and I'm going to say what Stephen Toulouse said. He's the director of Xbox Live Policy and Enforcement. And this is what he said when he was talking about contrarians who pointed out that the symbols pre-Nazi origins and that this was an attack on free speech. To quote, "The Xbox Live profile and in-game content you create is accessible by everyone. You do not have the context inside of it to explain your long-winded, contrarian view that your pithy text that violates the terms of use or code of conduct is actually intended to change people's mind about a commonly held misunderstanding. It's not political correctness, it's fundamental respect. If you think the swastika symbol should be reevaluated by societies all over the earth, I think that's great. Your Xbox Live profile or in-game logo, which doesn't have the context to explain your goal, is not the right place to do that."
Exactly.
And that's what Stephen Toulouse says from Xbox. Now, in many senses, I have to agree with him, even though I am an advocate of free speech. In this sense, there is no context when people see it. I was actually rather surprised. I've seen it about 20, 30 times already myself in my own gameplay. And I'm I'm left wondering, as he says, there is no context, even though there's one side of me that says it's free speech, they should do it. There's the other side of me that says, well, again, there's no context for this free speech. So I don't know how it comes down. But at the end of the day, Xbox Live is not a government.
That's right.
Xbox Live's offers a service, and they get to decide how things are run on their side. And if you don't like it, you can always bugger off to the PlayStation Network.
And in this one case, I agree wholeheartedly with what they're doing. I think it's the right thing to do. It would be different if like he said, society in general had changed their point of view of what the swastika means, but they haven't. We know what it means, and it has no place in a public gaming forum. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, the problem is that anybody could use that kind of argument. Anybody who has aligned themselves, say, for example, with a neo-Nazi ideology, could use that argument that, well, this existed before then, just to give themselves the right to do something that is otherwise socially unacceptable. Again, I'm torn between the two things. I'm torn between this freedom of speech versus the sort of political correctness of it all. But I think my gut would tell me I have to come down on the same side as the Xbox Live policy on this one.
Well, and on that sober note, I guess we can call this Tuesday edition of Daily Brief to an end, Paul.
Yes, I think we can, my grey-haired, cranky Canadian git friend.
Are you ever going to stop? No, you won't ever stop with that. Anyway, folks.
No, I won't stop with that until you stop being cranky on the show, dude.
I can't help it. Anyway, I'm Steve. That's Paul. This has been Daily Brief for November 23rd. We'll see you all tomorrow, everybody.
Don't forget to subscribe, folks, and thanks for watching.